Hello, so welcome to another 5-minute preset, and today we're going to look at sort of a singing lead tone with, in this case, my Strat, based on kind of like a Marshall sound. So we're using the Marshall JMP1 preamp on this, so let's get started. So on the quick build, let's put our ingredients together, obviously an in and an out. Connect those up, and then we'll just set things up. So we'll have the amp, the cab, a delay, and a reverb. So nice and easy. So let's start with the amp. So we're using the JMP, the GM-Pre-1 OD1, which is based on the JMP-1 preamp. And then for the cab, we'll be using those a JB cab, like GB cab, like in the last video. So we'll go to the picker here, so GB, and we'll be adding the 57C, that one. And we'll be using two cabs to give a bit of a warmer, rounder tone here, which I quite like. And on the other side, we'll also be using a GB cab, it'd be a 121C. So not touching anything at all, this is what we get. And on the bridge pickup, it gets a bit more gain. So it's not too bad already, but we're definitely missing gain, I think, and maybe the delay and reverb are a bit muddy to my liking, at least. So we'll add a filter block in front of the amp as sort of like a clean boost. It's the easiest way of doing it, and I'll even put this to 8 dB. And on the amp, I think we can push the gain as well, so almost to 3/4. So again, without touching anything else, I'll go back to the bridge pickup. Pretty good, but again, delay and reverb a bit muddy for my liking, so we'll tweak those now. I think we can make the reverb bigger in this case to get more of a standing on the mountain kind of vibe. So we can push the decay up to 3 seconds. We'll take a medium haul, keep the mix at 20%. I think that's all right. I think what really helps is in the EQ tab to shave off some of that low end already, to cut that out. And I'm going to put 150. You can do this to taste, but I find that cutting more of that gives you more, I guess, breathing space or air, and the signal's a bit less muddy, shall we say. We'll do the same thing on the delay. So we can already cut the EQ here. And I'm actually going to take a different delay here. As we're running in glorious stereo, I can take a dual delay and we can use a tap tempo to get an interesting kind of variation on each side. So we can put a quarter note on one side and a dotted eighth on the other. And not touching anything else, this is what we get. Pretty good. And the thing I really like is also how touch responsive it is. So if I move up to like the 4th position and pull back the volume a bit, it gets this really nice sort of tone. And of course, if I turn up, I've still got all that gain on tap if I want. And the last tweak we're going to do is just up the feedback on the delay to get a bit more, I guess, sustain on the notes and the stuff you're playing. So we'll bump both of those up so to 30%. This is what we get.